Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why some people seem to rise above every challenge while others stay stuck in the same cycle year after year? The difference is not luck, not talent, not even opportunities. The difference is thought. What you allow to dominate your mind is exactly what you will live out in your life. If your thoughts are weak, your life becomes weak. If your thoughts are powerful, your life begins to shift in powerful ways. This truth is simple, yet it carries the weight of your entire future. Everything you are right now, your habits, your choices, your daily actions, was first a thought. You thought about it long enough until it shaped the person you became. And here lies the key. If you want to change your life, you must change your thoughts. Imagine this for a moment. You carry inside your mind a hidden garden. Every thought is a seed. Each time you think of possibility, hope, strength, or courage, you plant a seed of growth. Each time you dwell on fear, doubt, or failure, you plant a seed of decay. The garden never sleeps, it never rests. It grows exactly what you feed it, whether you're aware of it or not. And this is why you must ask yourself, what seeds am I planting every single day? Because the harvest is coming. Your future self will be forced to eat the fruit of the thoughts you are sowing right now. This truth is both frightening and empowering. Frightening because it means there is no escape from the consequences of your own thinking. Empowering because it means you already hold the key to the life you desire. Think about how often people sabotage themselves with a single belief. They say, I can't do it. That thought becomes their reality. They say, I don't deserve success. That thought closes every door that was waiting for them. They say, I am not strong enough. And so they never even try. This is not fate. It is not destiny. It is simply thought taking form. Now imagine replacing those thoughts. Imagine saying to yourself, I will find a way. Suddenly, your brain begins to search for solutions. Imagine believing, I am worthy. The world begins to respond to that inner confidence. Imagine repeating, I am strong enough. That belief alone creates the courage to take the first step. And the first step leads to the second, and before long, you are walking a path you once thought impossible. Psychology has shown us that the human mind cannot tell the difference between something vividly imagined and something experienced in reality. That means when you repeatedly think a certain way, your brain begins to treat it as true. Over time, your body, your emotions, and even your environment start to align with that mental picture. This is not magic. It is not illusion. It is the simple law of cause and effect within your own. Here's the question you must hold on to. If your thoughts are this powerful, why waste them on doubt and fear? Why spend the most valuable resource you have, your focus, on building a reality you do not want? Every time you repeat a thought, you are building your future. Every single time. But here is the reward for those who stay with this message until the very end. You will discover how to guard your thoughts like treasures, how to break free from the chains of negativity, and how to finally take command of the invisible power that creates your reality. If you give yourself fully to this message, you will walk away not only with knowledge, but with a weapon stronger than anything outside of you. The weapon of mindset. Your mind is the architect of your destiny. Every achievement you desire, every mountain you want to climb, every dream you want to turn into reality, it all begins with a single decision in your thoughts. You may not control the circumstances around you, but you can always control the world within you. And that world will eventually shape everything outside of you. So the truth is clear. You become what you think. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are the script of your life. Guard them, direct them, master them, and you will master your future. If you look closely at your life today, you will see the invisible fingerprints of your past thoughts all over it. The choices you made, the habits you built, the opportunities you either seized or ignored, every single one began with a thought. Thoughts are not just whispers in the mind. They are silent architects, laying the foundation for everything you will experience. Consider this. Every invention that changed the world, every movement that shaped history, every breakthrough in science, business, or art was once nothing more than a single idea in someone's mind. At first, invisible, at first unnoticed. But when it was repeated, nurtured, and believed in, it transformed into something real. This is the hidden power your thoughts carry, the power to turn the unseen into the seen. Your mind is not just reacting to life, it is creating life. It is constantly shaping your perception, your emotions, and the way you interact with the world. If you think of yourself as weak, You will walk through life with your head down, avoiding challenges. But if you think of yourself as strong, you will approach the same world with courage, seeing obstacles as opportunities to grow. The world outside you hasn't changed, but your thoughts change the way you experience it. That is why your mind can either be your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. If you feed it negative beliefs, it will silently build a prison around you. But if you feed it strength, discipline, and vision, it will build a path toward freedom and success. Thoughts are invisible, but their impact is inescapable. When you understand this, you begin to see that nothing is more important than mastering the dialogue within your own mind. The voice you hear the most in life is your own, and that voice is planting seeds with every word. Guard it carefully. Direct it with purpose, because the invisible power of thought will always move you, either closer to your dreams or deeper into your fears. The choice belongs only to you. If thoughts have the power to shape reality, then negative thoughts are the silent enemy waiting inside the mind. They do not shout, they do not strike loudly, but they whisper with persistence, and over time, those whispers become chains. Fear, doubt, and insecurity are not born outside of you. They are carefully planted by the thoughts you allow to grow. Think of how often a person destroys their own potential before life even tests them. They say, I'll fail, and so they never try. They say, I'm not good enough, and so they never step forward. The enemy is not the obstacle, not the challenge, not the world. It is the voice in the mind that convinces you to surrender before the battle even begins. That is why many people live far below their true capacity. They are trapped not by reality, but by the illusions of their own thinking. This enemy is dangerous because it disguises itself as truth. A negative thought feels real, feels solid, feels convincing, yet in reality it is only a shadow. It is only a picture painted in the mind. Repeat until it feels unshakable. But here is the truth. The mind that creates the chains also holds the key. The moment you challenge a negative thought, you weaken its power. The moment you replace it with a thought of strength, you begin to dissolve its grip. Just as darkness disappears when light enters a room, doubt begins to vanish the moment belief is introduced. The enemy within loses when you refuse to feed it. Understand this deeply. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not outside, but within. Defeat the silent enemy in your mind, and the outside world will seem lighter, opportunities clearer, and your path stronger. The quality of your inner dialogue decides the quality of your life. Master it, and the silent enemy will no longer control you. You will control it. Once you recognize the enemy within, you must also understand the law that either strengthens it or destroys it. The law of focus. Whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you give attention to multiplies. Human mind is designed to amplify whatever it constantly thinks about. If you focus on fear, you will see fear everywhere. If you focus on strength, you will begin to notice opportunities to become stronger. This is why people who constantly dwell on problems always seem to have more problems. Their mind is trained to search for them, and so it finds them. On the other hand, those who train their thoughts on solutions and possibilities discover doors that others cannot see. The outside world has not changed. It is the same for everyone, but the focus of the mind changes the experience of reality. Think of it like this. Your mind is a magnifying glass. Place it over doubt, and doubt becomes overwhelming. Place it over confidence, and confidence grows beyond measure. The focus you choose does not just influence your emotions, it builds your future. Over time, repeated focus becomes belief, becomes action, and action becomes destiny. That is why you cannot afford to let your focus wander carelessly. Every moment you spend dwelling on weakness strengthens it. Every moment you invest in thoughts of power and clarity strengthens you. The law of focus is not selective. It works for both the positive and the negative. The question then becomes simple. Where will you place your focus? On the barriers or on the breakthroughs? On the fear of failure or on the possibility of success? The mind will follow the direction you give it, and your life will follow the mind. Guard your focus as if it is the steering wheel of your destiny, because it is. The law of focus ensures that wherever your attention rests, your future will grow. If focus determines what grows in your life, then the real battlefield is clear. It is the mind. Every victory you desire and every failure you fear is decided here first. Long before you step into the world, the outcome is written in your thoughts. That is why two people can face the same obstacle, and one will rise while the other falls. The difference is not the challenge itself. It is the inner battle that takes place before the first step is even taken. When your mind tells you that you are capable, your body follows with strength. When your mind insists you are powerless, even the smallest task feels impossible. This is the power of the inner battle. It is constant and it is silent, but it decides everything. The struggles outside, competition, setbacks, difficulties, are only reflections of the struggle inside. If you win within, no challenge outside can truly defeat you. The danger lies in forgetting that this battle never stops. Every day, thoughts of fear and doubt will try to invade. They will whisper reasons why you should quit, why you should play small, why you should wait. But at the same time, thoughts of courage and growth are waiting to be chosen. This is the war between weakness and strength, between the voice that limits you and the voice that pushes you forward. The most successful people are not those who avoid the battle, but those who learn to fight it and win daily. They understand that the mind must be trained like a muscle. Each time you choose belief over doubt, discipline over distraction, resilience over defeat, you grow stronger. Each choice is a small victory that builds momentum, and over time, those victories create a life of power and purpose. The battle of the mind is the greatest war you will ever face, but it is also the one you are most equipped to win. Guard your thoughts, strengthen your focus, and choose courage over fear. Master this battle, and the world outside will bend to the strength you carry within. Winning the battle of the mind begins with one powerful decision: replacing weakness with strength. Weak thoughts will always try to enter, but you are not forced to accept them. You can choose to replace them. The moment you replace doubt with determination, fear with courage, or excuses with discipline, your entire direction changes. Many people believe they must eliminate every negative thought before progress can happen. That is not true. The mind will always generate both kinds of thoughts, weak and strong. The key is which ones you feed and which ones you starve. When weakness whispers, you can let it pass. When strength speaks, you can amplify it. Over time, this practice reshapes your mental patterns until strength becomes your natural response. Think of a person who tells themselves daily, "I can't handle this." That thought drains energy and creates hesitation. But imagine if they replaced it with, "I will find a way." Instantly, their brain begins to search for solutions instead of problems. This single shift in language is not small, it is transformational. The words you repeat become the beliefs you hold, and the beliefs you hold create the life you live, your life you learn. Replacing weakness with strength is also about awareness. You must pay attention to the conversations happening in your own head. If you catch yourself saying, "I am not enough," stop and replace it with, "I'm growing stronger every day." If you think, "This is impossible," replace it with, "This is difficult, but I can learn." These substitutions train your mind to look for possibility rather than limitation. This practice is not about ignoring reality. It is about facing reality with a stronger mindset. Challenges will still come, but instead of being paralyzed by them, you will approach them with resilience. Each time you replace weakness with strength, you gain confidence. And each time you gain confidence, you weaken the hold of doubt. And slowly but surely, the balance shifts. Weakness loses its grip, and strength becomes the dominant force guiding your life. And when strength becomes your foundation, no obstacle is too high, no setback too heavy, and no dream too distant. When you begin replacing weakness with strength, something remarkable happens. You start to see the world differently. This is the mirror effect. Your outer life is nothing more than a reflection of your inner life. The way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act shapes the results you see around you. If your inner world is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity, the outside world will appear full of barriers. Every challenge will seem heavier, every opportunity will look smaller, and every step will feel harder. But when your inner world is filled with belief, confidence, and vision, those same challenges transform into stepping stones. The world outside you has not changed, but the reflection has. Think about it like a mirror hanging on the wall. If you stand in front of it with a frown, the reflection frowns back. If you smile, the reflection smiles too. Life works the same way. When your mind carries strength, courage, and clarity, you begin to attract situations that match that energy. People respond differently. Opportunities appear where once you saw none. The reflection follows the image you create inside. This is why change must begin within. Too many people try to fix their circumstances without first fixing their thoughts. They chase success without building a mindset that can hold it. They try to change relationships, careers, or environments while their inner dialogue remains filled with weakness. As long as the inside remains unchanged, the outside will continue to reflect the same struggles. But the moment you decide to shift the way you think, the mirror begins to shift as well. Choose to believe in growth and you will notice growth everywhere. Choose to believe in strength and life will test you in ways that make you strong. Choose to see opportunity and suddenly paths you never noticed will appear before. The mirror effect is constant, unbreakable, and fair. It gives you exactly what you hold within. If you want to change the world around you, the first and most powerful step is to change the world inside. The mirror effect reveals that life reflects your inner world, and this is where the power of a growth mindset becomes unstoppable. A fixed mindset says, "This is who I am, I cannot change." A growth mindset says, "I can learn, I can adapt, I can become more." The difference between the two is the difference between being trapped and being free. When you believe your abilities are fixed, every failure feels permanent. Every mistake feels like proof that you are not enough. But when you believe you can grow, failure becomes a lesson, mistakes become teachers, and setbacks become fuel for progress. The same event that breaks one person can build another, depending only on the mindset they carry. Growth begins with the belief that you are not finished yet. No matter your age, your past, or your circumstances, you can choose to improve. You can choose to learn a new skill, to build new habits, to strengthen your mind. The brain itself is wired to grow when challenged. It creates new connections, new patterns, new ability. But this only happens when you allow yourself to step beyond the comfort of the fixed identity. The growth mindset also transforms how you see challenges. A person with a fixed mindset avoids them, fearing failure. But a person with a growth mindset seeks them, knowing each challenge is a chance to expand. Struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is proof that you are stretching beyond your limits, and every time you stretch, your capacity increases. When you live with a growth mindset, the mirror effect shifts dramatically. You begin to see possibility everywhere, because your inner world is focused on progress, not limitation. The path ahead may still hold obstacles, but you walk it with a sense of purpose, knowing that every step forward makes you stronger. Your life does not have to be a reflection of your old self. With a mindset of growth, it becomes a reflection of the person you are becoming. And that person is always greater, stronger, and more capable than the one you left behind. A growth mindset transforms the way you see struggle. Because struggle is no longer an enemy, it becomes a teacher. Every challenge carries within it the chance to rise high. Every difficulty you face has the power to carve strength into your character. Pain is not sent to break you, it is sent to shape you. Think of the strongest people you admire. Their strength did not appear in comfort. It was built in the fire of adversity. Hardship forced them to dig deeper, to discover courage they never knew they had, to sharpen their discipline, and to rise again when falling seemed final. Struggle is the ground where greatness is planted. When you resist struggle, you resist growth. When you embrace it, you transform. The obstacle that looks like a wall becomes the very step that lifts you higher. The setback that feels like an ending becomes the beginning of a stronger version of you. Struggle shows you who you really are and, more importantly, who you can still become. The secret is perspective. A fixed mind sees pain and stops. A growth mind sees pain and asks, "What can this teach me?" That simple question changes everything. It turns failure into feedback. It turns disappointment into direction. It turns weakness into wisdom. With this perspective, no experience is wasted and no struggle is meaningless. Psychology teaches us that resilience is not built in ease. It is built when life tests you. Each time you overcome, even in small ways, your belief in yourself grows strong. Confidence is not the absence of struggle. It is the memory of victory over struggle. The more you endure, the more evidence you carry that you can rise again. So never curse the difficulties you face. Welcome them as the training ground of your destiny. The weight you carry today may feel heavy, but it is shaping muscles of the mind and spirit you will need tomorrow. Struggles are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. When you learn to turn struggles into strength, nothing in life can truly defeat you. Struggles shape you, but the way you respond to them depends on one thing: your self-image. The picture you hold of yourself in your mind acts like an invisible ceiling. You will never rise higher than the identity you believe belongs to you. If you see yourself as limited, you will live limited. If you see yourself as capable, you will live capable. Your actions always follow the image you carry inside. Psychology shows that people act in alignment with who they think they are, not just what they want. Someone who sees themselves as weak will unconsciously choose behaviors that confirm that belief. Someone who sees themselves as strong will naturally act with confidence, even in uncertain situations. The self-image is the script, and life follows the script with precision. The danger is that most people did not choose their self-image consciously. It was shaped by voices from the past, parents, teachers, society, failures, or comparisons. Over time, those voices became beliefs, and those beliefs became identity. But here is the truth. You are not required to keep that old script. You can rewrite it. You can upgrade the image you hold of yourself. Start by noticing the language you use about yourself. Every time you say, I am, you are reinforcing an identity. I am lazy. I am unlucky. I am not enough. These are not harmless phrases. They are programming. Change the words and you begin to change the program. Replace them with, I am disciplined. I am improving. I am worthy. At first, it may feel unnatural, but repetition builds belief, and belief reshapes identity. Once your self-image expands, your actions expand with it. You begin to take steps you once avoided. You begin to demand more from yourself and expect more from life. And life, like a mirror, reflects that upgraded image back to you. Your self-image is not fixed. It is a choice renewed every day. Choose to see yourself as the person you want to become, and step by step, your reality will catch up with the vision you hold inside. Your self-image sets the standard, but discipline is what brings that image to life. Without discipline, even the strongest identity remains only a dream. Discipline is the bridge between who you believe you are and the results you want to see in the world. It is the daily commitment to align your actions with your vision, even when motivation fades. Many people wait to feel inspired before they act. But discipline does not wait for feelings. It moves regardless of them. Feelings are temporary, but discipline builds permanence. When you act with discipline, you prove to yourself that your choices are stronger than your moods. This builds trust in your own character, and that trust becomes confidence. Discipline begins in the mind. It is the refusal to let weakness decide your actions. When your thoughts suggest quitting, discipline says, keep going. When comfort tempts you, discipline reminds you of your higher purpose. Each time you obey discipline instead of weakness, you strengthen the foundation of your future. Think of discipline as the invisible structure holding success together. Without it, effort collapses under pressure. With it, even small steps create massive progress over time. One disciplined thought repeated daily becomes a habit, and one habit practiced consistently becomes a lifestyle. That lifestyle, built on discipline, is what creates results that seem impossible to those who quit early. The truth is, freedom is not the absence of discipline. Freedom is the result of discipline. When you train your mind to act with consistency, you free yourself from the chaos of indecision and regret. You no longer wait for chance or luck, because you know your daily discipline is carving the path forward. Unbreakable discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is about showing up again and again, no matter how you feel. When your mind is trained to obey discipline, nothing can pull you off course. You become unstoppable. Not because life is easy, but because your commitment is stronger than every distraction, every temptation, and every excuse. Discipline gives you the strength to act, but vision gives you the direction to move. Without vision, even the most disciplined effort can feel empty. Vision is the picture of the life you want to create, the image of the person you are becoming, and the destination that gives meaning to every step you take. The mind is a powerful tool, but it needs a target. When you create a clear vision, you tell your mind where to aim. You give it a picture to build toward, and slowly your thoughts, choices, and habits begin to align with that picture. This is why people who hold a strong vision seem unshakable. They are guided by something greater than their circumstances. Creating a vision begins with asking yourself the most important questions. Who do I want to become? What kind of life do I want to live? What qualities do I want to grow in myself? These questions are not about possessions or status, they are about identity and purpose. Once you know the answers, you begin to shape your vision. Visualization is more than daydreaming. It is mental training. When you close your eyes and imagine yourself living with strength, confidence, and success, your brain begins to create the pathways as if it were already true. Psychology proved that the mind does not distinguish strongly between what is vividly imagined and what is experienced. This means that your vision, repeated daily, becomes a powerful force pulling you toward it. But vision alone is not enough. It must be tied to action. Discipline without vision is aimless, and vision without discipline is powerless. When the two come together, the result is unstoppable. Each disciplined action becomes a step closer to the picture you hold in your mind. Your vision is a promise to yourself. It is the proof that your current reality is not the final chapter. When you live with vision, every struggle becomes bearable. Every effort becomes meaningful, and every day becomes part of something greater. Vision does not just show you what is possible, it reminds you that you were born to create it. Vision gives you a future to aim for, but the awakening comes when you realize that your mind is the true source of power behind it all. Every achievement, every transformation, every breakthrough begins within. Guard your thoughts and you guard your destiny. Lose control of your thoughts and you hand over your future to fear, doubt, and distraction. The final awakening is this: you are not a prisoner of your past, nor a victim of your circumstances. You are the master of your inner world, and the state of that inner world will always shape the world outside. The people who rise above limitations are not the ones born with perfect conditions. They are the ones who take command of their mindset and refuse to let weakness dictate their story. Your thoughts are not background noise, they are blueprints. Every day you are building something with them, whether you realize it or not. If you think of strength, you build strength. If you think of growth, you build growth. If you think of courage, you build courage. But if you allow negativity to dominate, you are building the very walls that will hold you back. The awakening is knowing that you always have the choice. So decide today. Decide to master your thoughts. Decide to align your focus with your highest vision. Decide to replace weakness with strength and fear with courage. With every decision you are training your mind, and with every thought you are shaping your life. The truth is simple, yet life-changing. You become exactly what you think about. Guard that truth. Live by it. Feed your mind the strength, clarity, and belief that will carry you forward. Your mindset is not just part of the journey. It is the foundation of everything. And when you master it, you will no longer wait for life to change. You will rise, you will create, and you will become the person you were always meant to be.